to Tactics Talk with Guido. I've got a replay from LpBronco, and he's back with his Type 4 Heavy Tier 9 Japanese heavy tank. And he's in a fantastic setup here in a 357, though he is facing another Type 4 Heavy. We'll see how this one goes. He's loaded into Paris, and he is trundling off to the heavy brawling area, which I definitely agree with. With the Type 4, he misses a shot right there. Stopping, I don't know if I would have stopped right there, LP. I would have just taken that snap on my way to work. All right, so your workplace is down here, and you just delayed at Starbucks, and now you're going to be late for work. Plus, you're in a big, slow, fat car that can't get there very fast. So I would have kept going. Just snap that, and the danger is exactly what you just faced right there. You bounced it, but you could have very well taken a big hit. There are a couple big TDs, and there are some spots where they can see you, and it looks like you're going to do it again. This time we're going to get... No, we bounced off something. I don't know. And then we have a suicidal 34-100. He definitely wants a piece of you, but he's not going to shoot. He's going to hold his shot. He's going to get right up here on their side, and then he's got ping issues or something, and now he's dead. So that didn't work for him. Oh, and we take a 34, T-34 hitting the side. So what is going on in this... I would tell you something, man. You maybe could have just driven right by that 34-100 and let all those guys take him down. Sort of expecting people might follow up like this right here, but that's all right. You got him dead. You only took one hit. Oh, 34B. That is not good. Taking lots of hits. And then the Type 4's up top right there. So you do need to be careful about backing up too much because you're sticking your turret up. This thing has a really tall profile, and somebody might be able to snipe that hatch right there. Now we're going to move on down. All right, so the timing, let's talk about timing real quick right here on the reload. You got to watch that closely with these long reload tanks because you really want to get back in and shoot as soon as possible. When you backed up, I already mentioned it, you backed up way too much. There was no need to back up that far because A, you exposed yourself a little bit, and B, it's a long drive back down this hill to get a shot. And now that you're reloaded, you're taking a little while to get around the corner. I'm going to notice this with you a couple times. There's an Oni. The thing about the thing to notice about that Oni is he's got the small gun. He's not carrying the derp. So he's shooting the AP out of that longer gun. And this is another great example. You're just back. Now we're going forward. One thing about these massive tanks is the threat, just the sheer threat of their gun. Some people do not take too close of attention on when the reload is. So you can really surprise people on occasion if they're not paying attention. And you can influence them because you're right there with your big gun. If you back, way back, you may not be able to influence them. And this is maybe a case where you're trying to save your scout right there. Coming around the corner, you're not really putting your front armor out enough here. It is a catch-22 because you're trying to minimize your exposure. But you also want to get your front armor, so if you turn yourself straight onto it, then it's not as easy to back around the corner because you got that angle going on. You got another example, just way too far back. No need for all the way back here. Got a team killer on your team. That's always fantastic. T-34 is not doing a great job. Not doing a great job of trading right there, and this is a little bit inexplicable to me. I mean, you're coming back to kind of deal with this Type 4, but here's the thing about that Type 4. He's out of the fight. Good shot on, that's good. 580. He's out of the fight right there. There's not a lot he can do unless people want to try to expose themselves to him. And you have plenty of targets down low. You could have cleaned those guys up. The Oni, the T-54 lightweight, all those guys down in that corner. Clean them up, and then the Type 4 is isolated, and you can come around behind him or change things up a little bit. Bit of a lull while this goes on. The Tortoise on the enemy team's taking the center. The lightweight's bugged out. He just killed off your Rev, so now he's a bit of a problem back there. You do have a lot of guys hanging out in the back. Now you're going to come down here. I don't like this rubble pile right here because there are shots that the guys up on that corner that you're looking at can have on you, and you can't return because they can see the bottom part of your tank, and because of the way the bridge is designed there, you can't quite get to them. There you go, now you got them. And you're just really putting a lot of side armor there too. I would have just squared up against whatever was there instead of coming out to the side. And this is a pretty funny shot right here. There's guys like, oh geez, 737 10. And a snapshot. He's probably raging right about now. I know I would be. But nice shot, you got him. Shots not taken always miss, as they say. The Type 4 is in pretty rough shape now. There's an Oni trolling around somewhere, so you do need to pay attention to this. And first time I watched this, I'm not sure what happened here. I think you hit him on a gun mount and do 0 damage, maybe. Oh, looks like the fence. Was that the fence? I think you actually hit that bloody fence. That is a game mechanic that makes me rage on occasion, but it's part of the game, so you do have to watch for that. Little pieces of fencing and posts and walls. Crappy fences will detonate your HE shell and then it does no damage. So the Oni is coming down. Type 4 is dead. You're going to come around here and we'll take out the Oni. Square up your front a little bit more. There you go. More. Don't give him any side. Thankfully, he bounces. You did angle it enough. That's good. No sense letting him have a shot that he doesn't need. I don't think I would have poked out right here, because he might have tried to go for a track or something like that. There we go. Now he's down. Although there is an argument to be made that he's going to have a really hard time penning you either way you slice it. So maybe just give him that big juicy target that he wants to shoot and take the heat off the guys around you. That's kind of situationally dependent. If you think you can get that done, then good on you. You do need to be careful about getting tracked. If there were a bunch of his buddies around, I would probably think more about getting out of the line of fire so I didn't get tracked. But in the situation you found yourself in there, that was not as big a deal. See, the ISU is exposed right there, but he's around the corner. And now we're going to trundle forward. And a pretty good example by LP of just getting his gun headed towards the battle. No sense going to the cap. The FCM does that. He's dopey enough. Let him do it. Pretty quick zoom in on these big guns. They're more accurate than you would really think. They're definitely more accurate than the T-43 wants them to be. And now we've got a tortoise. Now you make a decision here. That guy's obviously on the other side. Pretty quickly, you're going to start pushing this T-54 lightweight, which is going to really slow and otherwise slow tank down even more. I think I would have just stopped doing that, went around him. Pick a side, whether you're going for the tortoise or the T-25 ISU. I agree that the tortoise side is the one to go to. There's an RHM over there, an AT-7, and a 1390. The FCM is being dopey. There's not much you can do about him. You can't get there fast enough. Let's go clean up these guys over here with the majority of your team, and there goes the FCM, so you weren't going to save that guy anyway. And what you really want to do now is get out of these middle roads if you can. Those guys come around and start shooting that nice straight shot right down into your rear end. That will suck. 1390, I'm not really sure what happens here. I can't see what he's doing. He kind of rages in, then he gets away. How he didn't get shot by the tourists, I'll never know. But good on him. Square up your front armor, front armor, front armor, front. Oh, not enough front. You might have been able to bounce that if you'd have shifted your armor quite a bit more there and not given him so much of a side shot. I don't know if maybe he had fired and I missed that. If he had fired, I missed it, so you might have been trying to get in there before you reloaded, but it looks like you didn't anyway. I don't think that was the case. I just think you misplayed it a little bit. You needed to bring your front armor in a little bit better. Even a tortoise is going to have a hard time penning the front of this thing. Alright, let's speed this up because this takes a little while to happen. Zing, 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 off we go. Moving forward. You got a scout in the middle. Oh, there we go. The ISU hits you. He takes a hammer and then down he goes. But the ISU was shooting HE, so that was not very genius of him. Must have had that big 152 on him. Oh, there's another one, and it's time for snapshot number 2. There he goes. Nice job. And now the T-25 AT. He's shooting gold. Oh, he's tracked. He's hating life right now, and down he goes. And 5,928 damage, 1,900, almost 2,000 blocked, and 700 assists. So nice job there, LP. 5 kills, top tier. Great map, great setup for you. I like where you went initially. Just a couple issues with how you actually fought it there. Overall, definitely a good job. And then just using the whatever mobility that silly tank has and trying to get to where the fight is. I think you made the absolute right decision to go get the tort out first and then deal with the rest of the tanks with your buddies. All right, guys, I hope you like what you saw. I hope you learned something here from LP's devastation in his Type 4, even with a team killer over there. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and as always, we will see you.